of the sun, when it's stands in the morning. Who told the ocean you can only come this far? And who showed the moon where to hide till evening? Whose words alone can catch a falling star? Well, I know my Redeemer lives.
I tell you what, Ephie, you make me think I can do that.
You can't do that. And first when it came out, I was like, who is that?
Oh, that's so beautiful. And I'd love to play the whole thing. Everybody, welcome to Sisters of Wellness, our show where we talk to great women in our communities and across the country who inspire other women to greatness. And Ephie Johnson certainly does that all the time. She is involved with so many things. You just heard her beautiful, beautiful voice. She's at Hope Presbyterian every Sunday. And another church.
About many other partner churches that I'm associated with: Harvest Church, Orchard Church, First Evan. Very proud to be a part of those different churches. New Heights, Memphis.
What?
So it's been exciting to be a part of all those different churches to help.
Yeah, I'm laughing because Scott came over to say I didn't say who I was.
Oh, who are you?
I'm the producer.
You run this thing.
So kind of him. But Ephie, so you're involved in all of these churches. Everybody, and let me just let people know just a little bit about who you are, your pedigree. You come from a long line of people who are serving in the Memphis, Shelby County area, but not just there, across the country. You have grown up in a servant family. Your mom, Joanne Ballard, and your father, Monroe Ballard, worked. You probably don't know any different than giving all your life.
That's been a part of my life journey from the beginning of my time being dropped into time. That I have only known that to be my lot. Sometimes not always agreeing with it. You have your moments where you're like, why have I chosen to do this? Why do I have to do this? But always knowing that this is my purpose. And so,
we could do a whole show on you being a part of a family where there were some 75 children, foster children, who came through your home with you and your brother Monroe and your sister and your little brother, and some 75 children who your parents helped to shape and mold while helping you all. And then you're now running the Neighborhood Christian Center, an organization that your parents started.
That's right. Yes. So alongside my siblings, all but one works with us, and he did in the early years when he was in college. Now he's got his own food truck, but we all work together, and we're doing the work that my parents started, and we're doing our best to keep it thriving and moving toward next level service. And so together we're doing that as a team. My mother's still living and doing well and advises us along with our other staff she supports. And then my father, who passed away in 2008. And when he passed away, I, within that same period, became president and CEO. So since 2008, which was one of the worst times in our recent history of financially in the country, 2008 was when the whole economy had a downturn due to a lot of crazy things. And so I was like, wow, how am I being involved in leading something in the worst times of raising dollars? And so, but God was faithful, and we're here today continuing to do the work.
Well, here again, you all are answering the call during another very difficult time in our country and around the globe.
Yeah.
The COVID pandemic today, unfortunately, reaching 500,000 Americans who have died as a
Some,
result of this virus. How, and then Memphis just getting a thaw out from a winter storm that has crippled parts of the country that are not accustomed to getting that kind of weather. How, excuse me, how is the Neighborhood Christian Center doing in its efforts to answer the call in this very, very critical time for families who are losing loved ones? And Memphis was a hot spot. Tennessee was a hot spot for a while. And, you provide services. How are you all doing in being able to continue to provide for those residents who were in need to begin with? And then COVID just added on top of it.
right. There, yes. You're talking about people that were already under-resourced, already in underserved communities that were now found themselves isolated, already living in food desert communities, and then having to find ways to survive in the midst of stay at home, or whatever the edict was there, that we had to stay at home, what is it, home and stay home,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But
Quarantine.
yeah, the quarantine process, but it was a stay at home order, I think, where
Right.
we were not allowed to exit. And so when you have those kinds of challenges and you're used to, doing something, getting your food every day, day by day, it's not reserved. These are challenges that we were already dealing with. And then to have, I personally had just been out of the hospital probably 2 weeks from a precancerous colon surgery. So I was on a 6-week recovery. And
Wow.
and so in a way, I was blessed to be able to watch COVID begin to unfold while I was in the hospital. And so I began to reach out to our key staff and then ask our teams one by one. I actually texted all of our staff. I said, if you're in, let me know you're all in, because this is getting ready to be a ride. And everyone texted, I'm all in. And so from that point of being all in, early March, we began to work alongside our city leaders and other responders, first responders, and we've developed an initiative that we're going to keep, called Homebound Delivery. And so what we did was we began to, because there were so many other community partners that could not do the things they were accustomed to or typically going to be doing throughout that period. So they began to do some of the mobile pantries and things like that. But no one was taking food to the single parent that didn't have a car, or those that were testing positive with COVID, or those senior citizens that were the most vulnerable that didn't need to be getting out into the world. And so we began to take that upon ourselves to create a database. My brother created a database. Our team, led by Pamela Cox, began to convene volunteers and put that together. And we had over 180 volunteers at the height of us delivering every week. And we were delivering thousands of baskets of food to people every day. And so that's where NCC found its niche at that time. And then it began to expand to other community partners who needed our services. And we just continue to expand those services and the scope of services. And it's really helped us to build out a wonderful program or initiative to continue that work for people that are still in residual effect of what has happened with COVID and loss of jobs. Another thing was that we began to meet many, many people that had never needed a service like Neighborhood Christian Centers before. These are people that have taken care of their families, have children in college, that are graduates from college, or they're practicing a trade, own their own home, and found themselves needing us to help with the utility bill, or needing us to help with the house note, especially at that time, or car note. And so it was a very special time for us to find ways to help them see that what we do is not just for those that did not have or have not had in the past, but that those that are in the present that need our help as well. And so that's what NCC found itself doing um, in this past year, and now continuing to do that because um, COVID is still not, it hasn't resolved itself yet. So we're
Right,
still
right.
out there working, helping as we can.
Ephie Johnson is the executive director of the Neighborhood Christian Center in Memphis, Tennessee, an organization that has been answering the needs of families for 30 plus years.
43 years. 43
40,
years.
43 years. 43 years. And in this very critical moment in time, seeing people who normally would not need your services. Ephie,
Right.
how are you all able to continue? You've increased the number of people that you've had to serve. How have you all been able to do that?
Well, we've been blessed to have people that have sought us out to help support and give money toward this work. There has been some CARES Act dollars out there that has really helped us to help more people. And then foundations there in the city that have really recognized not just organizations like us, but others as well, that are right there in the trenches, that are right there, in the communities that needed support to continue to serve the people. And it was nothing programmatic about this. This is just being a resource and resource support to people that didn't have another way. And so our staff, all our 45 staff, converted to being homebound delivery part people or intake people or sanitization people. They were mask distributors, whatever we needed at that time. That's what we became, and people saw that and supported us, and we're very thankful for that because that kept us going.
Ephie, in addition to running the Neighborhood Christian Center, and let me just ask you this before I move from the Neighborhood Christian Center, how have you all been able to keep everybody safe and COVID free?
Well, at the beginning, now, ironically, without messing with any HIPAA laws here, at the beginning of COVID, all of us were just pushing and working and staying 6 feet from everybody and helping. And God, we were blessed that no one had gotten ill. Toward the middle end, when it started getting close to Christmas, things started getting a little. The numbers start peaking. We had to be more cautious about that because we know our staff would be more vulnerable. We had a lot more people that were getting COVID, higher concentrations of people. So we started having all of our staff separate by day. So if there were 2 people that worked in a location, we have 10 locations in Memphis. So if there were 2 people working in a location, they alternate days. And the other one works from home and does the administrative work, and the one that's working in the office helps to do the client-facing services in a socially distant way. And then those who are working on our trucks or working in our administrative offices, we would then alternate days as well, and have less than 14 people in the building spread out. And so we just figured it out and used Zoom a lot for the rest of it. And
well, thank God.
That's how we made.
Thank God you all are safe and continuing to answer the needs of those in the community. Well, Ephie, as I said at the top of the show, you are an exceptional, incredible, talented young woman who has just been giving her entire life, whether it is what your hands have been called to do or what your voice has been able to do. You all were recently on the Today Show. So I'm thrilled that you made time for me.
Yes, I do what I can for the little people. I try to help you out. And hopefully you get some views because of me. No, just kidding.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Girl, that was a whole 6 minutes. that was a whole 6 minutes of fame right there.
No, look, let me tell you, to be called to be on the Today Show is incredible. What was that like, and how did that come about?
Well, they reached out to us. They had kind of heard about the work my mom had been doing. She had been highlighted in the Washington Post, and then Neighborhood Christian Centers had done some work with the New York Times to kind of show families that were in need and crisis during COVID, the early stages of COVID. And so my assumption is they probably saw some of that those articles or interviews, and then they picked us up. And so we got a call and hold a coffee and the team began the work, and we did all this interview stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes to get that one little interview done.
A few
But we're
minutes
able to do that, and then on top of that, they blessed many of our. Huh?
No. Go ahead.
What'd you
said
say?
they blessed. They blessed what? Go ahead. Continue.
Yes, they blessed over 100 plus of our clients with $100 gift cards. So we're very, very honored. No, I'm sorry, 250 of our clients received a $100 gift card from Walmart.
From the Today Show.
And that was a surprise. We had no idea. From the Today Show, we had no idea they were going to do that.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, Ephie, I talked about in teasing this show that this is an incredible time in our history. While all of these things may be happening, it's still an incredible time for womenpreneurs, entrepreneurs like you. And you're starting a new program, and you have a popcorn shop, 2 locations, and you also ship. I should have gotten the address so people can find out where they can get popcorn. What's the name of your shop in Memphis?
They go to paparoos.com.
Paparoos.com. And it is yummy. It's yummy. So
it really is good.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it is. Paparoos.com. So Ephie, and you're looking to start a program to teach other people how to hustle. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I put together a phrase that we use all the time, hustle, and I call them hustle tours, and that's really it's called Hustlenomics 101. So I do a seminar or sessions, and I would love to do it for any of those that are listening on how you transition your side hustle to a system of hustling, eventually into a mainstream business. And the process to doing that, and when is it right for you to shift from being a hustler to it being a business, and then leaving it? When is it time to leave your job, or should you do them both in tandem for right now? So just things I've learned along the way, and how to make money with multiple streams of income. I just firmly believe that you should have multiple streams. You cannot depend on that one thing anymore, and nothing lasts forever. And so we have learned that we need to have other contributing sources, especially at different seasons of our life. So when I was a young mother, just married, young mother, I was braiding hair, I was singing, I was teaching piano lessons, and then over time I couldn't braid hair as much, but I started doing this. So some things, hustles are about what you do that people may need that will help you get by. Hustlenomics 101 says, how do we move from hustle? How do we move past getting by to making this something that's sustainable? And so that is what the mission is with Hustlenomics 101.
So Ephie, what do you say to those who may be watching thinking, this is a really tough time to be thinking about stepping out, putting together a hustle?
Well, the two things is you're not stepping out from something while you're doing this hustle. So it's not a stepping away. you're stepping out, but you're not stepping away. So I think you have to be bold and courageous when it comes to stepping out into something new. While you have something in the back pocket, you have to step out. And if you don't step out, you will never ever see the potential and opportunities that are within you, before you, and that which is within you. And so I was afraid. My brother, he saw it in me. He knows I'm a super entrepreneur, actually, at this stage. He saw my abilities and how I ran the organization. He saw all those different things that I was doing. And he was like, Ephie, why don't you just do this? And I was like, I'm scared. No, and he was like, girl, we're going to do this. I'm going to help you get this set up. And I knew how to do it, but I wasn't willing to step out. And I learned some words, some things, some phrases that I had to start doing here. Step out and do it. Just do it. You have to go out there and try. The other thing is, people say, how did you decide to do popcorn? I didn't even know how to cook popcorn. Not the way I have to do with these big machines. I didn't know how to do all that. And I started off with vending the popcorn, but because nobody knew who I was, nobody was buying my popcorn. Then I started making the popcorn so that it would stay fresher longer, and I could make smaller batches and not lose so much money. And I really began to perfect and make popcorn the way I like to eat it, which happens to be the way a lot of people like it. And so when I began to believe in myself, begin to produce a product that other people really could enjoy. And it was like, I didn't need to pop popcorn for the sake of popping popcorn, but I wanted my children to see how I did it, how we created something from nothing. And then once you start doing it and you create a demand, your time will be dictated by what other people need. And so we began to provide product to people, especially even during COVID, because people needed prepackaged product because you couldn't touch stuff. You couldn't have open bags of popcorn and people put their hands in it and share. So we began to accommodate those needs. So sometimes hustling is looking at what people need and providing that. It's not just what you like, but what is it out there that people need that you can do, that you can provide to others, and then you continue to build on that. I hope that makes sense.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why we're able to do this show right now, because we've been able to pivot.
Yeah.
Before, I would have been thinking that I need to do the interview in my studio in Gainesville, Florida. You are in Memphis, Tennessee. But because we have been forced to look at other alternatives, it's really making it possible to be able to interview people all over the world. And the networks are doing the same thing.
And nobody's going backwards. We're not going back.
Ephie Johnson, the executive director of the Neighborhood Christian Center in Memphis, Tennessee, answering the call, many callings that are a part of her journey. You, Ephie, can I tell people that you're my cousin?
You already did. Don't we look alike?
Don't we sing alike?
No, we do not. But y'all, let me tell y'all. My cousin really thinks she can sing. Honey, she can sing all right. But honey, you would have thought, my daddy would have thought that I never knew how to sing a note. Because my father on his dying bed, I never forget it. Because my father was so gracious during that whole transitioning process. And I never forget you being there singing. I think you sang Amazing Grace, but I could be wrong. And girl, I was like, he was acting like that was the best thing he ever heard in his life. I was like, she don't know how to hold a tune that long. But I was like, that was so beautiful. It was hilarious. And you was looking at me like, I know.
No, I was probably looking at you going, girl, don't you know you're supposed to take the rest of this? When you gonna start singing?
We were enjoying that too much.
And you know what?
We enjoyed it too much. It was beautiful.
Because it could it gave all of us, gave you another focus in that very difficult time of knowing that your father was making transition. And, you know, yeah, because you were looking at me going,
Yeah.
Pamela. And then I was thinking, he's not going to complain.
No, it was.
What was that, Effie? You cut out. What did you say?
I'm sorry, but I think I have a little. I think I have a delay. No, he wasn't gonna complain, but it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was just funny because all of us know you as a news anchor.
Effie.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that was so funny. Look, notice I'm not really laughing.
I know. Are you offended? Don't laugh.
No, no, because Effie, actually, my cousin, Captain cousin Verisa, I was with her brother and sang to him during his transition. I think God just gives me that opportunity with my brother Albert. You know, nobody. It probably sounded angelic because you're making this transition and you're hearing this voice. It must be the angels. I'm glad you're frozen, Effie.
Unfreeze me. Unfreeze me.
Oh, and your mother is laughing too. She's watching. She's laughing too. But you know what? I was scripturally based. Make a joyful noise.
But let me tell you,
what's that?
when you emceed the funeral, and baby, you did that. It was one of the most memorable times. Of course, it was a homegoing, but you made it so special. And even though we're laughing about the singing, of course you were great. It was just funny because our cousin don't sing, she speaks. But it was just beautiful seeing you. I love your confidence. I love how you just walk in whatever God tells you to do. And it was and you're fun. And it was fun. I mean, you talk about with family, we could have a good time. And it was and just you're just so special in that way. And I've shared this with you before. You've taught me so much, and I've called you and said, "What about this?" and what about? And you need that relative or that person, that woman that's willing to be confident in front of you and demonstrate confidence and demonstrate boldness and demonstrate excellence. And that's what you did. And the reason why Daddy wouldn't have said anything, because you demonstrated excellence, because you're always excellent in everything you do. And you look cute with the little outfit you had on. You had the herringbone, what is the little red, blue and white shirt jacket on. I can't remember the name of it now, but you look cute. And so I was like, she's got it together.
Well, Effie, you know how much I admire you and all of the things that you have accomplished. I know that your mother, Dr. Joanne Ballard, looks at you and your siblings and can say to herself, well done, with what she and her husband have been able to put in you. And Cousin Joanne, magnificent job that you did with your children, your biological as well as those that were born in your heart. Effie, I know that there are many, many things that you're going to accomplish, and you are just at the right age to step out and do it and to continue to inspire. That's one of the reasons that I started this show, Sisters of Wellness. So, because in Titus, it says for the older women to teach the young women. And Effie, we are shifting into that category where it is time. We are learning, we're still learning, but it is also time for us to teach. So with your Hustlenomics, I look forward to us having another show to talk about that as you continue with your incredible voice and your singing, and looking for you to be the Memphis Tyler Perry. Get that studio going, get that label going, and I'm willing for you to sign me. Okay? You
I
can
will.
sign.
You'll be the first one I sign.
Because guess what, Ephie? It's not just singing. Like, I can do narrations.
Yes, you
I can.
can.
Yeah, I
Yes,
can
you
record an
can.
album doing narrations.
And you are
Look,
so awesome. And I appreciate you saying you don't know what my day has been. And I hope this helps someone. But I appreciate you pouring into me to speak life. And that's what we have to do for each other. We have to speak life. And I've had to speak some truths today. I've had to speak some things in boldness today. And and we have to remember, I've had to remember I'm not that young girl anymore. I'm not 22. I'm not 11. I am 52 years old. And there's some things that I have walked through that it's time for me to walk out and to help and to speak out. And so I am thankful for you and your pouring into me and being a great example of what it means to walk in confidence and excellence.
well, I look forward to our next time. Ephie Johnson, the executive director of the Neighborhood Christian Center in Memphis, Tennessee, answering the call for such a time as this. And as God continues to enlarge your territory, I pray that his anointing will continue to flow through you as you touch the lives of so many people. God bless you. You're spectacular.
Thank
Miss
you.
Ephie
I love you.
Johnson, I love you too. I love you. Well, when we will continue this wonderful show to talk about women in our communities and across the country who are doing excellent things. And I am excited to introduce to some and present to others Jossette Jenkins-Golatt. She has a virtual fashion show coming up February 28th. Here is just an example of what you will see. There we go. My guest tonight is Jossette Jenkins-Golatt. Hello. You know what, everybody? That's my cousin too. Yes, Jossette.
Hey, cousin.
What
So
a
glad to be
family.
back on your beautiful program.
Man, thank you. Thank you. Jossette is in Texas.
Yes.
First of all, how are you all doing with all that's happening in Texas with the weather? You're in Prairie,
No, we're in Little Elm. It's North Dallas.
North Dallas.
Our lights are on and the water is running. No pipes burst. So we thank God for that. And sorry for all the horrible things that people have had to endure. Yeah, it's been a little rough.
Yeah. So how are the temperatures today?
It was in the 50s, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Y'all having a heat wave today.
Yeah. Go figure.
Yeah. And it is these days that you all have gone through that you will remind yourself when you're in the Texas scorching heat.
Yes. Don't complain.
Don't complain. Don't complain. Jossette, this virtual fashion show, we just I'll have to introduce you to your cousin Ephie Johnson.
That was my first time hearing them.
Yeah, I know. She's incredible.
That's what I love about your show. I get to meet cousins I've never met before.
Well, and it's so wonderful to be able to showcase my cousins, my very talented, gifted cousins.
Yeah.
And that's a bad jacket you got on, girl.
Thank you. my butterflies.
That is beautiful.
Yes. With the little
so, that's cool. That's cool. Is that my size?
Yes, it is.
All right. Jossette,
yes.
You have been designing for years. Jossette has designed for people like Patti LaBelle and what's Summers? Donna Summers and not Donna Summers. I thought I saw you in a picture with Donna.
Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan. That's what I meant. Big hair.
Yes.
And not to mention the mother of 5 children, you and your wonderful husband, Bo, who shot and edited the video. What a great partnership you all have. And then this gift that just keeps flowing and flowing and flowing. What made you decide, let me just do a virtual fashion show?
I don't want to say thanks to COVID, but because of COVID, you have to be creative, like you were speaking earlier in the first set. You have to hustle and come up with creative ways to get your business out there. So COVID prevented that opportunity for me to offer a fashion show inside my house.
Right. So tell everybody how that's going to work. They can get their tickets by going to your website.
Right. Then go to JossetteCouture.com and scroll down, and then you come to a ticket, and then you click on the ticket, and then it'll take you to PayPal, and then you can order your ticket, and then you will receive a code 2 days before the day, which is Sunday the 28th. And then on the actual day, you'll be able to click on that code, that link, and you'll be right here in our house of Jossette Couture.
And so you're in I see you have garments hanging back there, and you have not just been designing, but you, as our show likes to do, Sisters of Wellness, you even started a program for young designers. Tell us about how that has impacted young people who have a desire or a gift to create with garments.
Yeah, awesome. I'm so excited about my Youth Fashion Academy. The name of it is An Eye for Style Fashion Academy, and it's for young people that are still in high school, like from the 9th to the 12th grade. Those that are interested in fashion and design, the arts really, graphic designing, photography, painting. And what we do is we teach them basic 101s of fashion and design. And it's a Saturday class. They come early in the morning. That way you get the real serious kids that are interested in fashion and design, that they don't stay in the bed or watch cartoon, which is nothing wrong with that. But if you really want to be part of this program, you got to get up on a Saturday morning where you would rather be laying in the bed. And you have to write an essay to let me know what your interest is. I found that to be a real plus, because sometimes they don't really know until when they start writing it down. I have stacks of papers of young people that wrote me essays, and one day I'll just plan to sit down and just go through them. But nonetheless, and then they come to the class on Saturday mornings, and they do. I have a spread of magazines on the table, and they take it and give them about 30 minutes, and they rip out pages that they like, that they gravitate to, and then I have them put a collage together, and something interesting comes together. When they put that collage together, I'm able to look at it, and I can help direct them in the area that they should go. It is fascinating, like because they all come in t-shirts and jeans, all looking alike, because that's period. That's their style. But I can tell if they're into casual clothes, evening, or photography. I can tell. Or a jewelry designer. I can tell just from the collage.
Wow, wow. So
Yeah.
Jossette has a virtual fashion show coming up February 28th, and you can get information and tickets. The tickets are how much, Jossette?
$12.
Tickets are very economical, $12
Right.
to help to support the arts during this particular time. Anytime we have an opportunity to support artists, because where would we be without these wonderful creators? And fashion designing is an art form.
Yes, it is.
So Jossette, when you are creating and in this line that people are going to be seeing, you have been sewing and creating like COVID wasn't happening.
Well, I don't want to say stuck at home, being that I've been at home, but then that's what I do. I raise our 5 kids. They didn't go to a daycare center. I would take care of them, teach them, feed them, and discipline them, and sew at the same time. And so to be at home is what I do. I'm fortunate to work from home, and I love it. And I've been sewing, And I wanted to share this.
What's that?
This bag, this envelope, not envelope, but this Ziploc bag, it's for my labels. I got these back in 1989, 3,000 of my labels with my name on them.
Really?
And this is all I have left.
What? You've made that many clothes?
Yes.
Wow.
3,000. So it's time for me to order some more. So that's how much I love to sew.
And so Jossette, so we're going to see the fashion show. Will people be able to purchase from the fashion show, and how will they do that?
They can go on my website, and there's clothes that's already there. They can put them in the cart, put their credit card numbers in there, and it go through. Then I'll be shipping it to you. That's how that works. But I do custom work, so I'm hoping that people will see that they get to see that I do one of a kinds. My love for fabrics, my love for doing custom pieces, that I don't just make like 10 of the same outfits and send them out the door. So it's going to be a little creative. That we thank God for technology. Now you can Zoom, you can FaceTime, and we can do measurements. Yeah, I'm excited about this new way of doing this. Yeah.
And your stuff is just incredible. My sister Catherine Marshall in Maywood, Illinois, she said, "This is wonderful, cuz."
Oh, thank you, cousin.
And Catherine, you know this is Sadie Mae's daughter. I know you know that. You just see it all over her face. I didn't have to tell you. Cousin Sadie Mae is my Aunt Frances, my grandmother's sister's daughter. We come from a wonderful line of hardworking women, gifted and talented. Because who taught you how to sew, Jossette?
No one taught me. I used to see my mother sewing, and she was raising all 4 of us. I'm the oldest of her 4. And when I would see her on the sewing machine, I would like, oh, I want to do that. But my mother never taught me how to thread a needle. Or, yes. Not trying to throw her on the butt. It's just that I realized now that I got older, she didn't really have enough time. She barely was squeezing in the time to sew for herself. She used to make clothes for me and my sister, and my brother would have a matching bow tie. And I was, this is fascinating. This is a good story. And then she would sit us on the couch, me, Bonetta, and Bernard. Ursula wasn't around then. And then me and my sister matching from head to toe. And then my brother with the matching bow tie. And I would sit there like pouting because I didn't want to look like her. And I believe that has a lot to do with why I do a lot of one of a kinds. So for that, I'm grateful.
You didn't want to be the twin.
Even if I get a 10-yard piece of fabric, of course I can make 2 outfits the same. I can make 5 outfits the same. I can make, more and more and more. But if I have a a 10-yard, back to the 10-yard piece of fabric, I can make 2 suits, 2 or 3 suits, but they all got to be different. I got to tweak it. I just got to tweak it some. It just can't be the same because we're not all the same.
Right, right. So Jossette, as I was talking to Ephie about women stepping out and owning their space in this particular time, what is it, before you answer, what words of encouragement do you have for women who feel like, I want to do it, but I'm not sure I can? I want to show some more of your fashions. You're actually wearing this. So I want our audience that's watching to take a look at this.
And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
Girl, you bad. Give me some dap. Give me some dap. Give me some dap. Ah! Girl, you bad.
Like I said in the first time you interviewed me, I know who is the original designer, and because I know that, I'm grateful that he gifted me in this area to sew. It's a beautiful thing. We all need to wear clothes, so clothing is universal, just like music,
Right, right. So in this time of this virtual fashion show, let people know, kind of, because you're high end, fashion high end.
Yeah, I get you. And that's the thing about custom work. Anytime you're getting something custom, it's going to cost you. The hours like I said, the 3,000, I've put in the hours. So you're going to get quality work. You're going to get hands to, that's what couture is. It's when you take a thread and needle and have to sew it together. I don't do factory work. So I don't do piece work. I do, I cut out an outfit one at a time. And I pay attention to details, like the outfit that you just showed. That's an African print fabric. I love the African wax fabric. Even with a piece of cotton, I will put a bias. I would do bias tape on the seams. It doesn't matter if it's a cotton or a wool or a silk. I'm gonna finish my ends with a bias tape. A French seam. That's not factory work. Well, it can be factory, but most likely it's not. I don't do. I'm not in competition with H&M. I'm not in competition with Zara. No, I'm not. I have the pleasure of, when anytime and everywhere I go, to have the only outfit on in the room. That's what I want that's my customer that wants that. To know wherever they're going, that they're the only one in that outfit. And if they should happen to see somebody else in something similar, like I said earlier, out of that 10-yard piece, that is not the exact same, but they can say, oh, that's bad. And the other person can say, oh, that's bad too. And they can say, oh, Jossette Couture did that. That's what I get pleasure out of.
And so Jossette, as you're making things and you put them on your models and you model as well, is it hard to let things go sometimes because you feel a little close to it? Just a little, yeah. When it's like when I'm making a wedding gown, it's like, okay, I gotta let this go. But I know it's not mine, so it's not hard to let it go. And then I'm on balance. And what?
I'm on my balance, the payment. No. But yeah, that is true. It is, because you take pride. I take pride in my work, and any artist, they can say the same thing too. They take pride in their work. And then at the same, like a musician, when they're working on a CD or a music project, it's the reason why it may be a little difficult, because you want to make sure that you've done your best.
Mm-hmm.
And when you've done your best, that's all you can. Then you want to give it over.
What is it like having the opportunity to be the person putting the outfit on a Patti LaBelle? What is that like for you?
I know what it may be like to other people, but to me, it was like sewing for Patricia Edwards. That is her real name. And because I didn't make her costumes. So when you ask me that about Patti LaBelle, I look at it like I was making it for Patricia Edwards. I made her outfits that she loved to wear, and she was happy that she didn't have to have the costumes and all of that. And it was simple but elegant. And that was our relationship. And there's so many things I could say about that, but I'm trying to think of how to wrap it up and put it in a nutshell.
Well,
I hope I answered that.
Yeah, you did. But when you were trying to come up with what you were going to design for Patti, how did she has such a full personality.
Mm-hmm.
How did that factor in what you came up with, the design that you came up with for her?
Okay, that's a good way to let you know this, that it ties into the name of my school, my Youth Fashion Academy, an Eye for Style. She said to me, Jossette, I like your eye.
Mm.
So she liked my choice of fabrics.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my passion, fabrics and sewing. And then she had told her assistant at the time, she didn't know there was a Black designer out there designing like on the quality of Donna Karan. So she trusted my eye for fabrics, and she liked my style, which made it easier and comfortable for me to do what I did. She didn't pick the fabric first. I would pick the fabric and the design and then show it to her, and then she liked it. And she would always want another one and another one, but just in different fabrics. So that was perfect for me to be a stay-at-home mom and make her outfit, put it in the FedEx box and write her account number and send it to her. And then she'd be on stage performing in it, and then caught the eye of Luther Vandross, and he wanted to know who was this making all these bad outfits for Miss Patti. So the day I met him, she was introducing me to him and Shaka Khan that day. And that's how I ended up doing work for Shaka Khan. But I didn't get it, unfortunately, didn't get a chance to do any work for Luther, but I was honored that he saw my work and acknowledged it. That, is precious.
So Jossette, you have been doing this since you were a little girl. You now are seasoned. What is it that you want for you? What ideally do you want for Jossette Jenkins-Golatt?
Good question. This is my 50th year celebrating. I realize this fashion show is so epic for me. It's because it's celebrating my 50 years of sewing and designing. Started when I was 9 years old. So what I want for me is to connect with that client that wants custom work, who trusts my eye and my choice of fabrics, and let me do me, and let me dress them. And I also want to pursue my online classes for Youth Fashion Academy, an Eye for Style. Now that my children are young adults now on their own, it's like butterfly. I'm free to fly and spread my wings.
Yeah,
and be me. And just like that clip you showed, that was the first take on how the fashion show is going to be held on Sunday. Bo was putting it together, and he set the drop. What'd you call that? Backdrop together with my logo on there, and the fabric we had sitting in the room. He was able to drape it up there, and the models are going to walk through there and come in there. It's going to be beautiful. It's awesome, and the models have been coming in just doing a good job. I'm excited. It's going to be really good to see.
This Sunday. What time is it this Sunday?
6 o'clock Central Time.
6 o'clock Central Time. And to get tickets for the virtual fashion show, go to JosetteCouture.com.
Yeah.
And you'll see a link there for you to purchase the tickets. The tickets are $12 and so worth it. I'm so excited. Jossette was so kind to allow me to wear the picture that's on my Facebook page in my white and the white feathers. My cousin was so kind to share that with me, and I felt so honored, and it got so many compliments. And prayerfully, it will be one of those things that will, like those feathers, do like Patty, just keep lifting us up. Keep lifting us up. Hey, as we look at these videos and talk about what you've been able to do, it is not easy being Jossette if you don't have the right partner. You have a partner in Bo. How has that been for you to have somebody like him, a personality like him, a skill set like that, to be able to aid you in your vision and your dream?
It's been a blessing because I never had startup capital. So to be able to have two talented individuals working together, it's helped on a lot, saved on a lot. I'm grateful because I don't have to, when I come up with an idea, take it to some sewers, take it to the pattern drafter. I don't have to do that. I can make it myself. I can make the pattern. He can sketch. What I don't do, he does. And a lot of the designs he designed, he'll have some input in it. Like this dress on the mannequin right here.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was like, "Oh, that's a bad." They thought I did it, but Bo did that.
Wow.
Yeah. So, back to Patti LaBelle. There was a lot of fabrics that Bo chose that I would have never chose. And then when she saw it, she didn't care for. I'm gonna tell you this story real quick. I sent the dresses to her. She was in New Jersey or somewhere at a casino performing. And when the dresses got to her, she didn't think she liked it. I was like, it's okay. Because I was like, one of them, I was like, I'll keep this one. I like this one myself. But then her musicians came in the room, and she told me later. She said the musicians came in the room, they saw it on the bed. They was like, "Oh, Miss Patty, this is bad." And then that's how she ended up wearing it anyway.
Oh, really?
Because it was the men that liked it. But I didn't like it either. I mean, I didn't mean that I didn't like it. I would have never chose it.
That's funny. And that was one of Bo's.
That was one of Bo's. And then she said her jewelry designer came in the room to visit her before she performed, and then she saw the outfit too. And it was 3 outfits, and one of the outfits she wanted, she said, "Oh, that's really nice, Miss Patty." And then so she said, "Yeah, my girl Jossette made it, but I don't think I'm gonna keep that one." Well, the lady went in the restroom and tried it on. Came out. Patty said, "Girlfriend, take off my outfit." And that's the same one I had put on. The black and white, that's in a picture that she's in the Jet magazine in. She put it on, and when I made it, I put it on. My son was eating his little cereal, and he looked up at me. He said, "That's nice, Mom." I said, "I know this is bad. If she don't like it, I'm gonna keep it myself." That's what I said. And then when her jewelry lady did the same thing, she said, "Girlfriend, take my outfit off." And now it's on a Jet. Now it's a picture on Jet magazine.
Wow.
So that was 2. It's another one, but we ain't got time to go through all of them.
Well, your Uncle Larry's wife, Jacqueline Marshall, said, "So proud of our family, both of you ladies."
Oh, love you, Aunt Jackie.
Thank you, Aunt Jackie, for watching.
Yeah, so like I said,
another gifted artist. She's an actress, and singer.
I didn't know. Oh, I know she can sing. She makes me think about the times I used to spend at Grandma's house in Meaden, Tennessee. And I would just be in that room, just someone laid up in the night, 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, just to be woken up in the morning to ham and bacon and eggs and grits being cooked in the kitchen. Grandma would say, "Yeah, Sadie Mae daughter, she stayed back. She was up all night sewing. She's still in there asleep. No, I wasn't asleep. I might have only had like 2 hours of sleep, but I would just sew in that room back there. I mean, that's all. I love sewing. And then we got cousins like Millie. Millie sews, but mainly Wanda. Wanda is an excellent sewer too. And we just been gifted, and I'm grateful. So, like I said earlier, she used to sew all her clothes and make our clothes, and I ended up making all my clothes in high school, middle school, high school. Sometimes for the school teachers. Yeah,
Really?
One of them was one of the best in the yearbook. She was the best dressed teacher, Miss McLean. Miss Clemens. And then she got Miss Clemens. Yeah, I used to sew for her. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
And look, your Uncle Larry said, "What about me?" He's getting jealous because you didn't say how wonderful he was.
Well, you did a good thing by marrying Jackie. That means you smart. I remember when I have one story about them. When I would be at their house and Jackie would wash all the clothes and laid all those jeans on the bed for all 5 of the boys. I used to say, "Oh my God." It was like the Gap.
Yeah, and then you had 5 children.
Okay.
Inspired, huh?
Okay. It was contagious.
Jossette Jenkins-Golatt is presenting us with an incredible virtual fashion show, February the 28th at 6 o'clock Central Time. And in case you didn't see it at the top, and you can't see it too many times, I want to show you this promo again, shot and edited by her husband, Bo. Yes.
I want to say, my husband's brother did the trailer. He did that.
Okay, what's his name?
His name is Sean Golatt.
Oh, Sean Golatt.
But I did want to say that I don't think I answered you enough about when you said about being married to Bo and helping me. Bo does the hair. I don't do hair. He does my hair. Yes.
Bo does your wig.
I never had to wash my hair. He's washed my hair, permed my hair, curled my hair, dyed my hair. And now I just tell him, leave my gray. I like my gray. So yeah,
he be whipping up the style.
I don't do my hair. Don't know how to curl my hair.
What?
So we've been able to do a lot. We've been able to stretch it like taffy, make it look good.
Well, Bo, if you're gonna mess the hair up, at least you can fix it back. So good job, Bo. Let's take one more look at this promo for the fashion show that's coming up on the 28th of February, this coming Sunday. Jossette Jenkins-Golatt, the virtual fashion show, February 28th, online, no excuses. Everybody that has watched your Facebook post, who have admired the work that you have been doing over the years, get your tickets, get all your family members and friends to get a ticket. Let's support this incredible genius who takes a piece of fabric, cuts it, puts it back together, and makes one-of-a-kind art that we call garments. Jossette, you are gifted, and I'm honored. Does she do any designs for men? This is Pastor Royal Colbert, who wants to know if you do designs for men. Oh yeah.
I want to say, get a ticket, Dr. Corbett, and you will see my husband's suit. You'll know I do men's suits.
Oh well, he's a fashion plate himself. So yeah, get you something in style, Doc. That'll be wonderful.
Yeah, Pam, we plan to do a series of fashion shows since I started this. This is the way to go. I don't have to worry about overhead. We're already in the house. The models come do a fitting here, and because of COVID, we have them coming at separate times, and it makes too much sense not to do it this way.
I know. Yeah. I know. And you don't have to buy that many potato chips.
Yeah. And my sewing room is
refreshments. I'm trying to say. You don't have to do refreshments.
My atelier is in the front of the house, and that's where I sew and my fabrics are. And in this room, when we first moved here 11 years ago, I never wanted it to be a dining room. I wanted it to be my sitting room when my clients and my brides come in, they would sit in here. Well, this is where I'm at right now, and you will see this is part of the runway. God already knew this was going to happen. So I'm excited. I am so excited for everyone to see what I'm excited about and what I'm working on, because we've had fabrics made over in China 4 or 5 years ago. And then as soon as it got here, I just started cutting it out, making things. And it's just been sitting in the closet. So now you will be able to see some of the pieces that I had been having for a long time, and some of the new pieces that I've been working on since the COVID time. Yeah.
Well, I have some fabric from Joann's. You think you can do anything with that? It's not exotic.
No, some of my pieces, some of my fabrics have come from Joann Fabrics. Don't get it twisted. I'm not, my fabrics, some of them $50 a yard, some of them up to $100 a yard. But Joann come through every now and then. Just like when I first started sewing, I would go to Woolworths and I would dig through the table with all the remnant pieces, and I would get the best fabric. It doesn't matter how much a fabric costs to me. It just got to be there. Yeah, I just gravitate to that right piece for me.
Right.
That's why my academy is called an Eye for Style Fashion Academy. You only need one good eye, your eye. It's what you like.
Yeah. Well, Jossette, unfortunately, we don't live closer to each other because I like all of what you like.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome.
I love you, Pam.
I love you too. Thank you so much for taking a pause to share with our viewers, share with our audience. And I pray that you have much success with your fashion show on February 28th.
Yes.
Thank you again so much. And thank you, Bo.
Thank you.
All right.
He said thank you.
And then Jackie is applauding. She's so sweet.
Thank you. All right. They'll be able to talk to us at the end of the show. We'll be watching it along with them. Bo has done some of the music, and that's a plus. And we have another cousin that did some music. He's a young musician, so I wanted to introduce him. So he's gonna have some of his music in there too as well.
And your cousin Eric did some of the pictures.
That was from the Napa. That was from the Jack London's campaign shoot, the photo shoot that we did in California.
Eric Marshall.
The one. What'd you say, Bo? Come dressed up. Oh yeah, you're guaranteed to have a front row seat.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Look, shoot, I put my little fashion on today because I was talking to you and Ephie. I'm like, I'm not gonna have these girls on looking sharper than me.
So you had to say, I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling.
I had to put on my little stuff here.
So if you buy your ticket, thank you, and you can watch it from your bedroom, on the living room couch, wherever you like, on your cell phone, on your computer. It's a beautiful thing how you can do this. And then, like I said, I will be doing series of these fashion shows, and part of the proceeds will go toward me starting my relaunching the online Youth Fashion Academy. Excellent. And that's a beautiful thing because that'd be kids from all over the world. They can participate in it. It's awesome. Mm-hmm.
from the comfort of their own home.
Exactly.
Jossette, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to know you. And everybody, Jossette and I have become very, very close cousin friends, but we've never had a face-to-face conversation. Is that not amazing? But thank God for this technology.
Exactly.
All right, cousin Jossette, Jenkins-Golatt. The fashion show is Sunday at 6 o'clock Central Time. Get your tickets by going to www.josettecouture.com. Thank you for sharing. Thank you to Jossette. Thank you to Ephie Johnson for being a part of Sisters of Wellness on this Monday. Tomorrow night is our show Insight with Carlos Taylor. Carlos is one of our cousins who went blind when he was 6 or 7 years old. You were watching last Tuesday. And this week we will talk to his parents. Carlos and I will interview his parents about the challenges and the blessings of having a child with who went blind and the encouragement that they can be to other families with children with disabilities. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Insight with Carlos Taylor. Thank you, Jossette, again, and thank you all so much for watching. I'm Pamela Marshall at the Wellness Radio TV and at the Wellness Radio TV podcast. Hear that little falsetto snuck in there. Remember, there is healing at the well. Make it a great moment. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.